Raise your horns high and let your spirit flow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show. Feel the rush, let the loudness grow. It's the classic metal wrap-up show.
Obviously, at this point, everybody, unless you've been residing under a rock and you're into rock and metal music, the passing of Ozzy Osbourne. And, I think we went through and broke down the last show. So today we're going to get together here, and we brought in the manager, Mike, the manager of Mac Sabbath, who is how would you describe that? I mean, I don't want to say a tribute band, right, Mike?
Well, I mean, it's funny because it obviously is a tribute, right. But it doesn't really fall into the regular confines of what you think that a tribute band is. A lot of people call it a parody band. Some people call it rock opera. I mean,
sure.
It's really a whole lot of things that I keep trying to explain to people, that when they tell me they like it and I say, oh, what show did you see? And they go, oh, no, I saw clips on the internet. I'm like, you don't even understand what it is yet. You know what I mean? Because it's like this thing has happened to me over and over again, that whether it be fans or agents or whatever business people, promotions people that have come to the show afterwards, they go, I had no idea it was going to be like this. This is not what I thought it was going to be. So it's a little hard to explain what it is, unfortunately, for me as a person.
Now, real quick, Mike, can you see the photo that I just shared? So can you introduce the band here from probably your left to right? Obviously, the middle person's Ozzy.
Well, I mean, I think my left.
Yes.
That's Slayer McCheese on guitar. Yep. He's a guitar player,
right?
Because he's got a great big head.
Yep.
And that would be Ronald Osborne, the singer.
Yep.
Right next to Ozzy Osbourne, that I should probably be clear is not in the band.
Right.
And then and then that's the cat burglar, also known as Peter Chris Cut Fries.
Right.
Obviously is on the hamburger drums, which unfortunately are being covered up by these guys.
Right.
And then you got Grimalis there on bass, the big purple gumdrop looking guy.
And just real quick, how long have you guys been around? Because I know I've caught at least 4 shows that you guys have done in and around Northwest, and then also like pre-parties for the Monsters of Rock cruise and stuff like that. So you guys have been doing this for a little bit.
Well, last year was the 10th anniversary tour, and you'll be happy to know that this year I just kind of crossed off the 10-year, and then below it wrote this one goes to 11. So.
Oh, there you go. That's inspired by we talked about that, and I might get you on for that. But you guys have some fall dates. I know you guys are going to be in Portland. Last time I missed out. I got invited to the one in Bend, and then you guys, there was a conflict with the Portland date. I think I was only going to attend another show, but you guys are going to hit Portland again.
Absolutely. It would be in Portland, Salem, Seattle, Vancouver.
We were just talking about this. Now, this didn't come out of your mouth, Mike, but Evil and I were just talking about the trifecta of shit, and it included Salem, Seattle, and Portland.
I know nothing about Salem.
You don't know anything about that.
I've
No,
lived
that was
there
us.
in
So
my life.
for
I
the
know
record,
I've
that
been,
was us.
I've
But
been to Salem, Massachusetts
it's
several
probably
times for
that's got
obvious
to be
reasons.
nicer. It's got to be
Yeah,
nicer. But
I
anyways,
don't have a comparison at this point.
right, you do not. But so so anyways, okay, so you introduced the band, we ran through. How long does the fall tour run through? I know you said you X'd it out, you're gonna go to 11. Um, and how many dates on this particular
Well,
tour?
we've done a lot of stuff this year already, so this is just kind of a wrapping up the rest of the West Coast that we haven't
Right.
done. So it's just like I don't know, it's like 8 dates or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, thanks for dropping by. I'm waiting. I'm almost
Absolutely.
looking like Andrew WK. I'm about ready to slug myself in the face so I could get a little blood on my shirt. But
WK asked the band to come out with him
did he really?
when we were at Download
Oh shit.
Festival at the very beginning. We did Download Festival in Donington, England, with like Kiss and Motley Crue
Mm-hmm.
and uh,
Jeez.
yeah,
No, that might have been. Yeah.
it was before the band had left
Wow.
California.
Jeez.
And then because that video blew up and Black Sabbath posted it,
Mm-hmm.
I got this call, and
Well,
so
there you
all of
go.
a sudden we're playing this.
Just a couple of things though. How hard is it managing these guys? The band.
The trials and tribulations of
Right.
managing a heavy metal rock band, I'm sure, are difficult for a lot of people. But there's
Sure.
strange things that I don't think that most people have to deal with, like the well, I used to call it the delusion of a time traveling clown. You know, that he does not live in this reality and that he teleports here, you know, from the 1970s to save us from the pitfalls of the current state of music and fast food or food, and
Mm-hmm.
bring us to a time where it was more organic in nature. Both of these things. That's like his whole thing. But it's almost like a joke on me that I'm trying to function in this time and space continuum with the modern things that are used to promote bands, and I'm not allowed to do any of that because I have to, you know, I'm supposed to.
Right.
So,
And
it's a
just for the,
constant joke on me, and constant frustration
mm-hmm.
that he's, kind of full of it and pranking me, and that he's delusional, and none of this makes any sense. But then I go back to things that he said 10 years ago, and they're all kind of coming true.
Right.
So,
And for the record, we can't use the name of that restaurant, the one with we can't use that. Just to make sure. I want to make sure I'm good with the publicists. I don't want to get thrown off the name.
yeah, there's all kinds of things that we're not supposed to say, I guess. So,
Well, you put a squash to that if we get into that territory. But we are here to talk about Ozzy, Sabbath. We're going to come up with a list of the top 5 albums, right? Top 5 albums that are personal top 5 albums. So I don't know. We'll get. I'm sick of talking, so we'll go with Evil. Maybe he can pick it up from here.
Yeah. Well, I think we should just jump right into it. I mean, to remember in Ozzy and all the wonderful, amazing fucking riffs and music and shit that this man came up with Sabbath and his solo career. And without him and Sabbath, in Evil's opinion, there would be no heavy metal music. We would not be here talking about all this shit we're talking about. The guys behind me pretty much laid the foundation, I think, for all of the ones. I mean, we had this debate, and I was listening to this on the CMS last night about Zeppelin and this and that. I don't care. In Evil's opinion, Zeppelin, Deep Purple are great hard rock bands. The first heavy metal band is Black Sabbath, and then following that would be Judas Priest,
Yeah,
Maiden, and so forth and so on. So, to me, yes, this is why.
yeah, the Zeppelin argument. Oh boy.
yeah. What do you say? There's no hope for a Mac Zeppelin?
It's just this common argument that I think people of our ilk are just constantly faced with,
Right.
And it's like, sure, I like me some Led Zeppelin, and
Sure.
and there's a yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about
Yeah,
Mac?
When you
What?
get your fingers, when you get your fingers cut off by heavy metal and then
Yeah.
replace them, and then it creates a new sound that is
Sure.
heavy metal, it's kind of hard to argue with,
Yeah.
Just saying.
So the right answer is Mac Purple.
and I love me some Richie Blackmore,
Yeah.
but
No,
Tony
it's good.
Iommi
But
is
yeah,
the
it's
sound
Sabbath.
that
Come on.
No,
created
it's
heavy
it's
metal.
it's Fleetwood MacDonald's.
Oh no. Let's not get into that one. So I don't know if you want to
Which is
lead.
funny though. Which
Yeah.
is funny though because Green Manalishi is obviously
Oh, yeah.
one of the first Doom songs ever.
right.
So I say that.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Mhm.
true. Peter Green.
True.
There's a feel there to it.
Yeah.
Right.
But in
Let's just call
January,
that Peter Green.
Yeah, Peter
yeah,
Green. Mhm.
exactly. But in January of 1970, or February, when the first album came out, no one was releasing what Sabbath released, and that first song, Black Sabbath, I think, lays the foundation for everything that we all consider to be metal at this point in time.
And
So-
I'm going to go further and say that it inspired Gothic music, and that Paranoid is probably
Right.
one of the first punk rock songs. And
Mhm.
like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
it really, I think, inspired every alternative music that all of us weirdos hold dear.
Right. Well,
Absolutely.
so who's
So
starting?
let's-
Who's starting? Are we having Mike the
We haven't
manager?
started.
The manager should go
Yes.
first, right?
Yes, Mike the manager.
What's your number
Start with
5? What's your number 5?
Number 5.
It's easy for me. I'm a first 5 guy.
Oh, well, there you go. So,
Well, there you
Unless
go.
we're talking about Metallica, where I'm a first 3 guy, but in general, with most things, I'm first 5.
what about? Okay, well, what's so you're going with which though? Which direction you going? What's your number 5?
Well, I guess I waver. Well, okay, you have the first one, and then you have the second one, you have the third.
Right.
And then when I get to 5, I waver. With like between Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and Sabotage. I mean, I think they're. It's hard, but Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. I was just talking with a friend about Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and how interesting of a sort of metamorphosis that was. It switched up into I felt like it almost invented another kind of music almost, because it's different but the same, but it's just, yeah, I guess I would have to go with that as number 5. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
The rest are
Yeah.
I mean, 4 is 4,
Yeah.
All right. Well,
So you can
how about
go
you, Andrew?
backwards. I'm sorry, that's uninteresting.
Yeah.
But it's just so in my mind. That's just how it works.
There you go.
I don't know.
Yeah. All
How
right.
about you, Andrew?
Yep.
So I had a bit of a switch up, and it's funny because he was just talking about Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath, and that was my original number 5. But then when I really got down to the tracks, I switched it out for Paranoid because of 2 songs specifically on here, and that's Planet Caravan and Fairies Wear Boots. Kind of gave this the edge over Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath for me personally.
Nice.
My number 4, because I'm going to go backwards, would be No Rest for the Wicked. First one with Zach. I mean, obviously, Zach is all over this album. It was a great debut for him to join the band, and kind of an interesting time because, another guitar player switch up transition. So that's my number 4. My number 3, Bark at the Moon. And it's kind of weird because my number 2 and my number 3 are really more so of a tie, but something has to be 2 and something has to be 3. So this is 3. My number 2, No More Tears. Mainly because Lemmy co-wrote a lot of stuff on this, and this is probably the one that I've listened to the most outside of my number 1. which would be The Ultimate Sin. And this is my go-to because a lot of it gets neglected within the catalog.
Even the cover was neglected. What
I
happened?
know.
Yeah.
I've had this since I was 16. I bought it off eBay, and
No, that's
Yeah. All right. But wait,
Well, that's
but real quick, because I know Mike said he'd throw it in reverse. So you're starting out from the fifth record back, right? So are you saying then, Mike? Then your number one is what?
Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
the
Okay.
original.
No. I actually, I'm sorry. I have not. I'm just saying those are the five.
The five.
I-
So you love them all equally.
Yeah, I can't.
You're a polygamist.
You'd have to give me several more years to figure out exactly
shit.
what place
All
to
right.
put each one
Well-
in. But let's do that. Let's get back together.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll do it. You'll probably vomit when you hear my list, but
29, and we'll figure that out, or
yeah.
we'll round it off.
Well, I'm curious to hear.
Five more years, and I'll figure that out.
Right. By then there'll be like unreleased albums released by Sharon, and we'll have to do 10. But what do you have, Evil? What's your 5?
Well, Evil spent this entire week. I do a lot of driving in my
Mhm.
one of my occupations, and so I get a lot of time with the music playing. So I put on all these albums, literally almost every single one, except for the later Ozzy albums, the more last couple 10, 20 years. I have nothing in those new albums I didn't really enjoy, but particularly Sabbath, because I hadn't really visited the whole Sabbath catalog in a long time. And so I just went through everything and listened to all that. And then I went through all the Ozzy stuff just to make sure I'm not mistaken and make sure my ears aren't fooling me. And I'm going to surprise a lot of people, because many of you out there going to say, if it's an Ozzy top 5 list, there's probably going to be some Randy Rhoads in my list. And I'm going to tell you all right now, there's no Randy Rhoads in my list, which is going to surprise you guys. But that's not because of Randy and the music. I like those albums. It's the production. I hate the production on those first couple Ozzy albums. The drums and bass suck. Doesn't sound very good to me. As a bass player, I want to hear some fat sound on the bottom end. It just doesn't have that. And Randy's guitar, although amazing playing, it's like razor sharp and thin too. There's no, I don't know, it just doesn't have the beef to it. Like, there's something about the way Tony plays. It's just constantly, even those old 70s recordings, he makes his guitar still sound fatter than anything that was going on in the early 80s. So for Evil, we're going to start with number 5. This was a tough one because I really battled. Like Andrew, I'm a big fan of The Ultimate Sin, so that is going to be my honorable mention here. That would be like number 6. But number 5 for me is going to be a surprise to some people. It's going to be Never Say Die. I like the first 3 or 4 songs on that album are so effing strong. Junior's Eyes, Johnny Blade, Never Say Die. And then there's other ones later that I like. So I'm going with Never Say Die. I think it's overlooked now that I go back through the catalog because it's a later album, but it's a really strong album, and it's got some cool moments in there. And honestly, I think Junior's Eyes might be one of my top 5 Sabbath songs.
Overlooked until those 3 songs were featured in Back to the Beginning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that will be my number 5 album. Number 4 for me is going to be the only Ozzy solo album I'm going to include in my top 5 because I'm such a Sabbath fan, and that is going to be No More Tears. I do believe that is the most complete Ozzy record. Zach's playing is amazing. The production sounds great. Has a lot of classics on there. Even when you get into like The Road to Nowhere and Mr. Tinker Train and some stuff like that, I'm still cool with all that. It just sounds. This is a good.
Wait a minute. He's into the song about touching children.
Well, wait. I was going to
pee-pee.
say that.
What
You have to say Mr. King.
I'm an Ely.
I'm an Ely.
Okay, go ahead.
Wendell's brother. So anyways, I just think that's the most complete Ozzy record, and there's just something about Zach's playing on that record that I just think is pretty epic. So that's my number 4. Number 3 for me is going to be Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. This is obviously, I think one we could I think it's going to end up on most people. Well, I guess it didn't end. Andrew, was it on your list? I don't know, but I think it's
kind of like my tie for number 5, but because I had to choose one, I went with Paranoid.
Right,
so
it's always in most people's top. Sabracadabra. We can go through all the tracks. You guys know them. It's just an awesome fucking album. Number 2 for me is going to be Master of Reality. Into the Void, and I can go on and on and go into all the salt tracks of that. Sweet Leaf, it opens the album. I mean, that's like the when I was a teenager, the ultimate pot song you put on when you're firing up a doobie, right? So there you go. And the number 1 for me is going to be the one that introduced me to Sabbath when I was a young man at 10 years old. My uncle gave this to me on cassette and said, "You need to have this." He gave me Kiss Alive. He gave me some Rush. He laid the groundwork. But the first one he gave me was Paranoid. And that's the one to me. I mean, it just like I'm with Andrew. Fairies Wear Boots is awesome. The whole album, I can just go all the way through it and not have to stop. There's everything about it. And as a 10-year-old kid, I was like, man, who's this guy singing about fairies wearing boots? What kind of shit was he on? This is weird. This is like kind of dark, but kind of Alice in Wonderland, and all kind of merges together into this weird thing. And I just, as a kid, the album cover, the guy on the album cover, it made me wonder. It just put all this.
Album cover is terrible, though. We all have to just say this, right?
Yeah, but it made me wonder who is the guy and what is he doing and where is he going?
No, it was mysterious. It was mysterious.
Yeah.
And I would definitely waver between Master Reality and Paranoid for number 1.
And I love the first album. That was right there too. But I look at the first album, there's probably only 2 or 3 songs I really need, and a couple songs I'm kind of like, eh. Whereas I feel like when it got to Paranoid, I could just go all the way through, and I love the whole album. So that's why it became my number 1. So God bless Black Sabbath, and God bless Ozzy Osbourne. You're up, Rude.
Well, I'm trying to, let's see, I had my list, see, and I was just going to say, Forbidden is my number 5. Don't shake your head. That's a Tony Martin album. Come on. So, no.
I don't even know if I've heard of that one.
He's never, you don't want to hear it. You don't want to hear it. It's awful.
I don't see Tony in the picture behind me. Well, I see a Tony in the picture behind me.
It's Tony Iommi, though. But no, now mine, and I'll go with the Ultimate Sin. I'm kind of with Evil. I don't have anything Randy Rhoads on my list, simply because I don't know. I mean, to me, it was just kind of like it was a good, good records, good songs, great songs. I just don't know. I mean, for me, it was just kind of like this Randy Rhoads guy. I always gravitated more towards Eddie Van Halen, because those were the early Guitar Hero type guys. But my first one, Ultimate Sin, and mostly because it was the first record I bought with my own money, and Shot in the Dark. It kind of, the way they sequence that is, back when you had the cassette, you had to listen to the whole fucking thing to get to the end, because that was the closing tune, right? So it all, I mean, it was brilliant in that regard, and that was kind of the beginning of kind of more of the commercial end of things, which kind of opened the road for No Rest for the Wicked and No More Tears. But so anyways, there's a lot of great tunes on there. More of a Jake guy myself. And then the next one, number 4, would be No More Tears. That's almost a near perfect record. I mean, it's so polished. Lots of singles, lots of help with the co-writes. Top notch. I mean, guitar playing on there by Zach. I mean, he really came through on that one. I was a fan of No Rest for the Wicked, but that one, I mean, Jesus, I think he's the MVP of that one. Him and Bob Daisley. So, anyways, lots of nothing more to be said on that other than all the singles, all the various different songs. I mean, almost every song's a hit on that one. It could be like a deep cut on a radio show, radio station type thing. Mm-hmm. Let's see. The next one, geez, this is where it gets kind of hard for me, because I guess I'll go with Volume 4. That one's always been a good one for me. And having rebought all those deluxe box sets that Rhino has reissued here recently with like 3-4 discs, and I mean, it's really allowed me to just kind of dig deep with all the Sabbath stuff. So I'll go with Volume 4. And then this is where it gets hard for me because again, you go back to the stuff you know, and no matter how often or how burned out you are on the classic stuff, it's still like the records are what they are. Kind of like with I'd even say with like Pyromania, let's say from Def Leppard. Just because you're burned out on it doesn't mean it's not necessarily a great record. Um, even with the Black, no, I take that back. The Black Album I'm burned out on. I never need to listen to that one again. I think I'm kind of with, I'm actually the first four Metallica guy, and Justice for All.
No,
I
most
think,
people say that. Yeah.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, this one's kind of a toss up, but I'll go Paranoid 2 and then Black Sabbath 1. I don't think you can go wrong with at least those three. I think people can debate on any Ozzy content on there. Um, I also want to, I throw this out about live albums. I think that reunion record was pretty good because that was the tail end of that. That is truly, I think, them going out on top, having seen that tour for that '98 reunion. I also am a huge fan of Speak of the Devil. Again, Brad Gillis stepped in and did a fucking great job on that All Sabbath live set that was recorded. So, yeah, I mean, lots of great stuff. I don't think you could go wrong with a lot of the Ozzy stuff. I think it gets really, at least with the solo stuff, it gets really hit and miss. I think after No More Tears, I think Osmosis has even got some pretty good moments on it.
Osmosis is decent. It has some good songs on there.
Yeah,
I'd say that's like a 50% album. I can
Right.
do like about 5 of those songs.
right.
That's
So
why
there you
people
only can
say
find,
how
like,
underrated Perry Mason was, and I was like, yeah, I do like that song.
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
kind of, I kind of like half smiling,
Sure. Right.
But if it makes you happy, it makes you happy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think whatever people like. I mean,
Yeah.
I know there's some people that are all Aussie and there's like, yeah, I can't really get into the Sabbath stuff. I'm like, wow, it's amazing. Yeah. So
There are people that gravitate that way, and there's no really, if you think about it, the worst of the Ozzy is still better than some other bands. So I
Sure.
mean, I would probably take Black Rain or something over some other crap I hear on the radio nowadays. So
Here's
it's like, I mean, Ozzy can shit a record that would just to be better than probably 50% of the shit that's on the market right now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way, and let's upset Neely because we have to at least once an episode. The worst of the Ozzy is still better than the worst of the Dokken.
Oh no. Are you wait a minute. I think that caught Mike by surprise. I don't think, are you a Dokken fan now?
No, we're bringing Dunkin' Donuts into this. What's going on?
Drunken Donuts.
Drunken.
No, I mean, I think we have an ongoing thing that there's this, I think when some musicians hit the wall and it's time to go and they keep going, I think we saw that with Kiss and, a few of these other guys. I mean, even
I met
Roth.
Don, and he was really nice.
Was he really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
That's all I'm going to
That's
say.
Yeah. Oh, holy crap. He wasn't very nice to me, but yeah, I mean, you're a nicer guy. You're a handsome guy.
You were tainted, Ruben.
I think he thought he knew me from. I think he thought I was somebody else.
He thought you were the tour manager. He goes, "Hey, can you score me a pack of Marlboro Reds and a bottle of Jack?"
Bottle of Jack and Coke.
I think he thought. I don't know. I
No.
don't know if there was alcohol involved or what, but I think he
Right.
thought it was somebody else.
No.
Maybe that's why he was so nice.
Yeah, I think he thought I was. I don't know who he thought I was. I might have resembled George Lynch.
Well, that might have been the problem.
That'll generally. Yeah,
That'll do it. That'll do it.
bring the
But
ire.
okay, so we went through our list. So Mike, let's say had Max Sabbath performed at this Back to the Beginning, and they, obviously a lot of the bands had to do some of their own material. What song would you have instructed these guys to perform? Sabbath.
Oh, you mean if they were asked to?
Yeah.
Black
If they were a
Sabbath
part of this
song,
thing,
but
yeah.
to cover a Black Sabbath song?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's a great question.
It's got to be Dirty Women, right? No?
See, I have Max Sabbath brain. I'm like, what would that be, like Dirty Lemons or
Yeah,
something?
I don't know.
So,
Could be
it's
dirty
funny because
cashier or something. I don't
it's
know.
funny because I actually was there,
Oh, no
and
shit.
yeah, I went. I wouldn't have
Oh.
missed it. I would not have missed it. And people and there was this. People were saying like, a lot of people were saying like, even my publicist was saying I should have got you on this, and agents and
Okay.
stuff. Like, we should have got you on this, blah blah. And I'm like, man, I wanted to go experience that for me. I don't want to be dealing with those guys.
Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, it was a very emotional, personal thing for me. Like, I mean, I know this sounds very greedy,
hmm
uh, but that was like, for me, that wasn't like a Mac moment. That was like a Black moment. You know what I
Right.
mean? And
Right.
so
Yeah.
I'm totally satisfied of how it went down. Would have been nice to maybe have one of those like videos up there, like when Cyndi Lauper is like, "Ooh, blah,
hmm
blah, blah," or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That would have been nice. I would have, but yeah. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not prepared for that question. I would have to go through every single cover and make sure it was one that nobody else was doing, and
Right.
then yeah, I guess we end up with Dirty Lemons or something.
Yeah. There you go. It kind of has a Zeppelin thing to it, right?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
lemon juice running down your leg or whatever the fuck he was saying. But oh, so you were there though, but that I did not know that. So
I
for
was.
yourself, I mean, firsthand experience. I mean, you were there. I mean,
One thing that no one talks about and probably shouldn't be talked about because it's not important now, but I just think it is interesting to say as somebody that was there is the city and the arena did not have the infrastructure to handle the
mm,
amount of people, because what you got to realize is it wasn't just the amount of people. There was that amount of people. There was a certain amount of people who showed up trying to get in, because I don't know about you guys if you tried to get tickets,
hmm
but so many people tried to get tickets that didn't get tickets, that a lot of people showed up that didn't have tickets, that couldn't get in. So that the city couldn't really handle the infrastructure. They didn't have the infrastructure.
wow.
Like I was trying to get tickets, and I was on they went on sale at 2 a.m. and
hmm
I got my tickets around 4:30 a.m. But I had a friend who said, well, I'm 500,070 in line or something. And
Wow.
I go, well, the place doesn't hold 500,000 people, so you
Right.
might as well just give up,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
and
Yeah.
and so no one I knew was able to get them, and so really, like, we weren't able to eat or drink
Wow.
or really go to the bathroom, to be honest, because all of these things, all of these like, unless you wanted to miss like two bands,
hmm
you know, and like every band was something that you wanted to see. Like, I ended up, kind of begging somebody's food that they were throwing away.
Wow.
Jeez. Oh my God. Like, can I have that half a hot dog you're not eating?
It was
Holy
like that.
shit. Oh,
It was like
wow.
that because they just weren't, so it was, I
This
won't
is
get into the
interesting. Yeah.
grisly bathroom parts or anything. I don't,
Right.
Yeah.
don't want to like compare it to like the poop cruise or whatever.
hmm
I don't know if you guys saw that documentary,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
but yeah, it was difficult.
Okay. But overall, I mean,
But I
how,
mean, obviously, so worth it. You got to love it. You got to love it. First of all, to fly there, obviously,
hmm
and figure out what you have to do. Oh, and what I forgot to say was couldn't get a ride back.
Oh,
There were no cars, so took a bus to like Birmingham proper city center, and couldn't get a car from there. And the Bobbies were pretty much saying like, "Yeah, you're just gonna sleep on the street. You're not gonna get a car." They're like, "But we got you."
wow.
They're like watching out. Like, you're
Wow.
literally being told to sleep on the street from the cops.
Holy shit. You flew to England to be homeless for a night.
I
Oh,
mean, it was
geez.
just Woodstock proportions in more ways than one.
Wow.
It was
See,
wild.
that this is the first we've heard of that because it's
Yeah,
all,
Yeah,
because
no,
everybody's, and I probably should just be talking about the wonderment of it, but I just trying to give you some other
sure,
some
perspective. Yeah.
more perspective on the challenges that were involved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. It's amazing. Wow.
Eventually convinced an Uber driver to for the fare that he was waiting for to call them and ask them if they would share the ride. Like
Mm,
they did, and some other what, but the line for this particular burger stand
okay.
that I'm thinking of,
yeah,
which is ironic, was so long. And then when I realized that the line was so long that all those people were just trying to get in there so they could kind of have a booth to
Oh,
sit in until
sit,
morning.
sleep. Yeah,
jeez.
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, but it was
That-
so
wow.
wonderful. They had all these things set up in the
Sure.
city that you like a map of these different points that you could go. You could go see this old bar that they played in, and these different monuments that were set up, and this bowl that was this giant bronze bowl that was named after Ozzy, and like all these things, and
Hmm.
you're meeting people that have lived there and ran into these guys and stuff. So it was a really nice
Trip. Wow. So you made it back in one piece, though.
Yeah, yeah. I
Jeez.
still jet lagged when I got the news.
Wow. Oh my God. Well, that's interesting. So, um, for yourself, I mean, do you have any a favorite Aussie memory?
Well, obviously, my favorite memory is getting the closest to him. So that was when
Hmm.
the thing with Max Sabbath,
Right. Right.
and they arranged the thing with his show where Max Sabbath, played this little private show for Ozzy and watching Ronald and Ozzy talk and riff together and stuff. That was like, yeah. So
What was his reaction to what the band was doing?
well, that's part of why it's so special to
Yeah.
me is he seemed touched and confused by it, and that was perfect for me. I'll take both.
Yeah.
So that was great. And they're supportive and of it, and there was, I mean, even though Black Sabbath had posted several Max Sabbath
Hmm.
videos, that's how it got to be as where
Right.
it is. It wouldn't have happened without that.
Yeah.
People didn't really. A lot of people didn't know that. And a lot of people would kind of were real serious and would say, "Oh, this is disrespectful," and blah blah blah. Well, the second that thing dropped, that all went away.
Hmm.
It's like, do you really think this guy doesn't have a sense of humor about himself and everything? I mean, he's one of the funniest
Right.
guys in the world.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
he has a sense of humor about everything. Like, of course, but so yeah, so it was kind of nice to have that solidified, and feel
Yeah.
vindicated.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. So I don't know. I don't know if you guys got any questions for Mike.
Is there any particular tune that you think that the band should do that they haven't gotten to or haven't found that twist on yet that you wish you could find a way to plug in?
Well, it's funny because we were talking about Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath earlier
Yeah.
today, and there's been talk of they even have a T-shirt named "Sandwich Bloody Sandwich,"
Oh, jeez.
which, but I don't know. That's really really evolved, difficult stuff. I don't know. I wish
Yeah.
that
They're on their own.
You're right. Jeez. So, hey, what's what's been the most challenging gig for you guys? Because I know, not everybody gets it. And if you guys are in a supporting role, then you're like, okay, we're either opening, middle, somebody's headlining, and here comes the band on stage, and you're probably standing at either stage left or right going, oh shit.
Well,
So,
the easiest answer for that is Gathering the Juggalos.
oh, geez, that's right. We were talking about that last time we spoke, that you guys had done that.
Yeah, because we went the night before to check it out, and we were all standing there and watching the same slot that we were that was going to be ours the following day, and the same slot was a Riff Raff. I don't know if you guys know who Riff Raff is,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I would think that he would be more involved in this scene and like revered and respected and all this stuff than someone like us. The first time that we played with IC Pizza Hut,
Mhm. Jeez.
we were the first time we played with them, we were doing support for them, and I felt like the audience looked up at us like, why are those guys holding those electric tennis racket looking things?
Mhm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
this is a rap audience. They don't
Yeah.
even seem like they were really like understood the rock thing, And but then it went okay.
Right.
But then so we're watching, but this was huge. This thing, it was
Mhm.
main stage, this huge festival, and we're watching Riff Raff, and you could look this up. He was being pelted by the Fago.
Yeah.
Is what they do. If they
Yeah.
like you, or if they don't like you. It's sort
Yeah.
of complicated.
Yeah, you're fucked either way. I mean, you're gonna get,
Yeah.
you're gonna be covered in that.
It's sort of complicated, and he was kind of like hiding from it. Like, and if you show these guys fear, it's not going to go well. You know what I mean? So
Right.
then the pelting got really extreme, and those guys jumped in their car and drove out of there so fast that they still had one of their microphones, and they had to chase him down and stuff. And we're all going, "What is going to happen to Mac tomorrow?"
No shit.
Tomorrow,
Like,
we're walking into.
with this guy,
Right.
it's like, and then there's like 2-liter bottles like
Hmm.
coming down from the sky like bombs, and the first one, like, Ronald, like, grabs it and just like just squirts it all over him, and he's like, and they just went crazy and just started yelling family, and then I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But up until that moment, I think everybody was was definitely nervous.
Yeah, no shit. Oh my God. Well, wow.
Yeah. So now we're in the family, and then Ronald rode around all night long on a golf cart and hung out with people and stuff, and it was hilarious.
I'm trying to think of, I might start a band and compete with you guys. I'm going to be Burger Priest, and I'm going to be Ian Hill in the band. I just need to get some hair dye so I can have the black,
Just
the
for
darker beard. I could be the bass player and just stand there. Yeah, it'd be like Judas Priest, but we're doing like burger themed, songs. So it'll be Burger Priest. So watch out for that. He doesn't seem impressed, does he?
I don't think we'd be afraid of the Burger Priest. We'd be afraid of your Dave Holland.
Yeah. Oh, the Dave Holland. Oh no. Let's not talk about him.
That's who we'd be afraid of. That's who everybody would avoid him backstage. Whoever's portraying
Well,
that role.
I hope to see Mac Sabbath. I know you guys are going to be at the Aladdin on the 12th of September, I think. So, Aladdin Theater. What a nice place, And you guys have played there before, so that's. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience up I-5 in Portland, Oregon?
Windy.
Windy. There you
The
go.
windy road.
See, he's so PC, It's spoken like a true manager of a band.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Just can get a little windy, you know.
That it can. So, yeah, I think the last time we were chatting, I think you guys were going over like Mount Shasta and your phone dropped, and then it was like, I think we'll pick this up at a later time. But you guys are always hitting the road. So, I think, yeah, you guys have really built this thing and you're around a decade plus at this point. I look forward to seeing you guys when
Yeah,
you're
right
running in
after
Portland.
this run, we're doing Riot Fest for the first time in
Oh, geez.
Chicago. Yeah,
Oh, cool.
yeah.
Oof.
It's
Talk
like
That'll be a
about,
big one.
it's
oh
like
my gosh.
Blink 182
Yeah.
with Weezer Schnitzel and
Oh, wow. Jeez.
and Green Day and Max Sabbath. It's like
Yeah.
but we are playing on a stage with Weird Al that he curated
Hmm.
and stuff. So
Nice.
Oh, cool.
See, I mean,
Bar is playing also.
who? Guar?
Yeah.
Guar's
Guar.
playing,
Yeah.
so yeah. So
Oof.
yeah.
ICP, Guar. My God. I mean, look at that. You guys have made it. Weird Al, you know? I mean, yeah.
Weird Al's pretty major, man.
Yeah.
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 It's a multi-decade star right there. He
Yeah.
goes around the world doing whatever he wants to do, probably.
Which again, I think that's the one thing you could always point out about Ozzy. It seems like he maintained relevancy from beginning to end, really. You know what I mean? It's like there wasn't any drop off. It's like the dude. I mean, we were just talking about, I mean, Mike was mentioning, he inspired gothic rock and all those kind of genres, some genres, doom metal. Obviously the innovators of heavy metal. And then he even flipped the script with the Ultimate Sin and even with No More Tears. I mean, he went a little bit more just mainstream hard rock for the time, and then even went a little bit new metal there towards the end. I mean, he was doing some shit that was like really modern sounding. So I mean, that was the kind of one thing that you could say about Oz is that he maintained that level of credibility throughout the whole career, regardless of how uneven some of those records were at the tail end.
To have a tribute at the end of your life, I mean,
Right.
literally right at the end of your life, like I don't know if anybody in the history of ever has had something like this. I mean,
Hmm.
it was a world renowned tribute. I mean, it was a pay-per-view that millions of people watched. They're making a movie out of it, and I don't know that anybody's got that.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anybody who deserves it more. So
Right.
I have
Right.
mixed
It,
emotions
it was interesting,
about
I
it.
think.
It's also perfect.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't think it could be replicated. I know there was talk of other fan bases like the Kiss tards. They were like, "Well, Kiss should have done something." I'm like, I don't know. They weren't as big. They weren't as popular as Ozzy. They weren't as beloved. I mean, you go toe to toe even with Osbournes versus Gene Simmons' Family Jewels. I mean, Osbournes were more popular. I mean,
Yeah,
even that
but
makes
Gene
them more
openly admits
likable.
that Gene
Yeah.
openly admitted
You know?
recently that he copied
That
Ozzy to
he-
do that show, and he kind of tipped the hat to Oz a lot of those things. And let's be frank, the thing with Sabbath and Ozzy is that Kiss has a disco record.
Hmm.
Sabbath and Ozzy
Yeah,
didn't
right.
bow down to the trends of disco or punk or new wave or
Hmm.
whatever was coming on. I mean, they might have spruced up the looks a little bit and changed their stage attire or this, more hairspray, less hairspray, little things like
Or
that. But they didn't
brass.
take they didn't take the whole sound of an album and then direct it towards whatever was current. They just did what they did and then kind of forced everyone to adjust to what they were doing. That's why I think Ozzy was able to stay relevant, slightly reinvent himself just a little
Hmm.
bit in certain ways, but the music sounds the same. I mean, even like I
Hmm.
said, I don't hate those early Ozzy records. I just wish they had the production of No More Tears, because then I would feel like I'm getting the full band the way it should sound. And so, the Ozzy is a anomaly that way.
Somebody was saying that reality show was like the first of its kind, and that once again there
Hmm.
was like an innovator thing there.
Right.
It wasn't these no matter what you think about it, that there wasn't a show where they just kind of follow around famous people and their kids or
Sure.
whatever and tell that. And I was like, that can't be there. Like that Paris and Nicole thing must have been before that. And I looked it up and it's like, no, it wasn't. It was the
No.
year. It's like,
Right.
so like once again, like, that was like,
Right. Yeah. And that opened up that door to
unfortunately, it
other
did.
audience. Yeah. There you go. I mean,
And there's
come
something
on.
to be.
But then they had another show too, because they had the Jack and Ozzy. The
Oh,
Detour.
that's right.
Actually, I think wasn't the Max Sabbath thing on that? Wasn't that featured on that show?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Because I was sitting here the entire time, like I know I've seen video of what he's talking about somewhere, and
Yeah, that was it. It was.
Yeah. It was
the
the traveling, right? Like they'd travel
Yeah.
on a
And they
were on the road
RV or
with
something.
each
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Oh, see, there you go. I mean, there's another Max Sabbath mention. Geez, you guys, you're gonna be around for another
We're not on any
decade.
of the ghost hunter shows that Jack's doing, but we'll see this time.
Yeah, there you go. Nice. Wow. Well, cool. Hey, man, it was fun having you. I mean, I hope the publicist
Yes.
is happy. She'll be
Yeah,
like,
I really enjoyed listening
smack
to all
my
you
hand,
guys.
you know.
I really enjoyed listening to all your guys' picks and the reason why and stuff. And I'm like, I'm learning things. You know, it's good. It's great. It's great.
Yeah. Well, I might. Well, I'm gonna try to make the show on the 12th. I mean, a lot of shows have been skipping Portland. Um, for whatever reason. I think a lot of it is probably rep and, I think probably fear. I mean,
Right.
you guys are troopers, though. You'll be like,
the guys, people being attacked with broadswords on the street and stuff like
yeah,
that.
I mean, I know Dante's. Speaking of tribute bands, we went to go, my wife and I, almost a year ago, we went to go see Nerd Halen, who I'd seen on the Monsters of Rock cruise a couple times. And she's like, hey, wasn't there somebody shot here? I'm like, yeah, just right out here. And she goes, oh my God, what are we doing here? And,
The last time we played at Dante's, all the security guards had like Kevlar, mace, guns,
yeah.
and there was a lot of like actual medieval.
You're familiar with Dante's. You've been there a few
There
times,
was
right? You know where they
medieval weapons
Yeah.
being used on the street, and Guar was playing next door, and I misunderstood. He was telling me this stuff, and I go, "So Guar fans are showing up with real swords and like hurting people?"
Yeah, the
And he goes,
Guar was at
"It's
the
not
Roseland.
Guar fans, dude."
Yeah, Guar was at the Roseland, and you guys were at Dante's, I think.
Right.
You're familiar with Dante's. They have the little pizza window on the side of the building. It's on the east side. There's a video of a guy washing his ass on the drinking fountains right outside Dante's. I go, why does that look so familiar? I'm like, oh, that's right. It's right outside Dante's, right next to the window where you pick up your pizza. So, yeah, what a wacky world Portland is, huh?
So
Keep
many
it
times
weird.
when we pulled into Dante's, Voodoo Donuts is across the
Right.
street, and they would make special donuts and send them over that look like hamburgers and
Hmm.
even like ribs and
Yeah.
all.
All stuff that you wouldn't really eat.
No, it was amazing. And Ronald would come and show the box and the hamburger donuts and stuff. But like, it was amazing how realistic they looked.
Hmm.
Those
Yeah.
guys are real artists.
Right. Well, awesome. Thanks so much, Mike. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you
Does
for coming
Evil
on.
and Andrew have a question? Yeah, I mean, you were, it was great pulling you in last minute like this and sharing your list and giving us a little bit of backstory
my
on the
list.
band. What was that?
Sharing my list.
Yeah, sharing your list. There you go. Go for it. I don't know. You guys got anything? Otherwise,
I just want.
oh, go ahead.
I was going to say thank you for coming on, man. I appreciate it, and nobody better to discuss some Sabbath and Ozzy with. And I think we're all in. I don't know about you guys, but I'm still in a bit of a state of shock. I mean, I was actually watching an interview with Tony Iommi just yesterday. That was just a couple of days ago, right after Ozzy passed, and Tony said that he really feels that everything that Ozzy was doing during the whole week of rehearsals and everything they were doing was to get to that show, and that was pretty much his last final wish. And I was thinking in my mind, almost circumstantially, how even if other rock stars got into health concerns, they don't have the opportunity to kind of know that this is coming down the road and I want to do this. This is my end goal, my end date right here. But it seems like Oz, in his own way, had his own plan to do this, and amazing to him. God bless him. Rest in peace, man. That's awesome. He gave us a lot of music and a hell of a concert. I don't know about you guys, but I enjoyed every fucking minute of what I watched. So, yeah.
Nice. I don't know if you got
anything. I don't think there'll be another one ever like him, nor will there ever be anything like Sabbath ever again. So,
yeah.
That's the sad part for us. We have to go back and listen to the records. And no matter who comes upon the scene now, we're always going to be kind of like, oh.
Yeah, I keep trying to put it into the perspective of it can't be sad for him because he got
what he wanted.
He got everything and got the best tribute, the best relevant tribute ever to live on. You know, so I'm just feeling sorry for myself.
Right.
Yeah, that's
I'm really good at that. So
yeah.
Well, you're going to be.
We should also.
Oh, go ahead.
No,
I was just going to say he's going to feel sorry when he gets the link to this. And so
No, I was going to say, another thing that really dawned on me when I was thinking about it was it also tells you something about Ozzy and his personality, that he thought it was such a cool moment to meet Axl Rose. But in reality, it's Axl Rose who's probably having the cool moment being Ozzy Osbourne. But to Oz, he was like, I got to meet a rock star.
Right.
So it shows you Oz doesn't see himself the way that everyone else sees.
Yeah.
And that's very rare. Gene Simmons sees himself the way he wants you to see him. But Ozzy, no, he was more just,
Gene would have charged Axl.
Yeah,
exactly. And Zach was telling a story recently. Yesterday, I was watching interviews, and Zach was telling a story about how they went to some gig and ended up at some party at someone's house in L.A. And these people had no clue that Ozzy Osbourne's in their kitchen drinking booze with them. And I was like, Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley would never do that, but Ozzy Osbourne would show up to your house if you're having a hell of a party and get down with you. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So cool. Well,
thank you for coming on, guys. We
thanks
appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Mike. I'll pester you in Portland if I run into you.
Sounds great.
All right.
Heroes of the night, metal in our blood. Kneeling takes a bow and the crowd erupts in love.